Anne, first of all, thank you very much for coming.
My pleasure.
You are a very, very wonderful person to have on our show. But you wrote an article which I found very amusing. For you, you're in communications.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
And you wrote an interesting, or you communicated a rather interesting article about white Marcus.
She communicated her skills about what she has been doing, about her skin color and her life here. in a way that she does all the time.
It's complicated.
The summary of it being white privilege.
Yes, in Uganda.
Uganda.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here, first of all?
I first came in 2009. I've been in and out, but I think I've been in the country around 5 years.
So that article was based on a total 5-year experience.
Yeah, what I've actually lived here in Uganda.
But you know what? Let's stop being Ugandans. Boss, can you organize Madame a drink here? You don't even order her a drink. Sincerely, what are you drinking? What are you drinking?
Okay. Let me get something I like very much. It's called a white wine spritzer.
White wine spritzer. Boss, have you seen?
You guys, they think I'm too bougie with this drink. Okay, I'll take half a glass of white wine.
You have seen also? I've seen. Sorry, you were saying? What are these? Jonah, have you heard? Guy, are you seeing?
Yeah, stop there. And then soda water. You know, this is like champagne.
It's called a what?
It's called a white wine spritzer.
I have the best view in the house.
White wine spritzer.
Yeah. So you can drink a little longer without getting quite so wasted. Yeah, because you keep adding soda water.
It's just white wine and soda water.
Yeah, half.
In the meantime, so what you wrote in this article of yours?
Yes.
What was the problem? Because you seem to be venting about white privilege. Me, I would not complain if people were giving me privilege, but you were complaining.
Yeah. Do you ever complain about your male privilege, by the way?
I never do.
We'll get there.
But I don't.
Yes, so just thank you very much. So, yeah, I mean, I think that it's been something that has been real for me in Uganda for so long. And eventually I just decided, you know what, it's time that I talk about this thing. And the fact is, most of my friends in Uganda are Ugandan. And I move around with them, and I always see time after time that I'm not treated the same way as my Ugandan
You're
friends.
treated better.
I'm treated better. Yeah, in a way that doesn't make sense. Like, for example, something I said in the article. Often I go to a bar or a restaurant or a hotel, and the security just lets me pass. And then the person I'm with, the Ugandan, they're like, excuse me, open your bag, we need to search what. And I was thinking, I often kind of cynically joke that, you know, a Mzungu's purse may be the worst terrorist threat in this country. Because you just trust for what, you know? You don't know anything about this person.
So they look at you, they don't search you, but when you're leaving, they say nice time.
Yes, they say, are you enjoying the country? How are you? Oh, is there anything I can get for you? You know, thank you so much. They're so nice, overly nice, I think.
And you, one of the reasons you gave was because you think that they think that your Bazungu are better tippers.
Yeah.
Generally. So, but do you think that Bazungu are, I mean, in the little, in the 5 years that you're here, do you think that they generally tip more than Ugandans, and therefore the Ugandan guys may have a point to that extent?
Well, do Ugandans tip?
Me, I don't.
Guy doesn't, for sure. That's what I know.
I've always believed when I go to work, does my boss tip me? It doesn't. I got my salary and that's it. I don't get tipped.
Get out,
I move. But that's
Yeah, you're messed up like that. I've thought about this with him.
And have you?
Yeah, I do. I tip all the time. I tip all the time.
So I do think that Bazungu tip a little bit more than Ugandans, typically in Uganda. And the reason is, in our countries, for me, the way I afforded to come to Uganda the first time, I was a waitress and a bartender, and I was stuffing my tips in a sock until I raised enough money to come here. I know that life. I know that struggle.
Because you live off tips, pretty much.
Because waitresses get paid less than the average minimum wage, expecting that you get tipped instead.
But Uganda is not the UK.
Yes, true. But if they're coming from the UK, they don't know.
But the UK mentality to them is that for them they tip anyway.
Yeah.
So you understand the Ugandan recipient of it is like, oyo Gaetano, muve komu still taina sente mukodo, taina genda kwa dech kumi eti. However, and on the other hand, if I treat her slightly better, chinzo kuvayo. So technically it's not wrong.
And I think it's also, no, it is wrong.
Okay.
But I think it's also a mindset issue where people see Bazungu and they think, money. Like if I'm walking along the street, I've had my purse stolen before, and I think people assume I have millions of shillings in my purse, or even dollars. You know, thank you. And so they think, you know, if we serve this person well, maybe somehow the money will just fall out of them onto my lap. You know.
Tell me something, Anne. I mean, sincerely. Okay, so there you are. You're a Mzungu living in Uganda. And you're being treated better.
Yeah.
And you have an issue with that because our fellow black man is treating their own, it's like almost reverse racism.
Yeah.
Because the blacks are treating us, fellow blacks, worse than the white person. In fact, almost rude.
Yeah, literally.
Rude. So I don't know. I mean, I personally have had this experience. I have gone into an establishment. I parked in front of one restaurant, but walked to the next bar.
Sure.
And the askari said, boss, if you're not entering our establishment, you can't park here. And I got it.
Yeah.
I moved the car. I parked somewhere else. Me and my brother got out. And as we were entering the establishment we wanted, another car came, parked where we had parked in front of the restaurant.
And joined you in the other bar.
And then we looked, I said, my brother, I said, let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Bazungu, looking like you, white skin, glowing. They came out and walked to the bar where we went. And I said, is he going to stop them? The askari did not stop them. In fact, he was like, hello, how are you? Nice time. Boss, I was annoyed.
Why? Why
Did you
does
flip?
this happen?
Yeah, we got angry. We went and we told the manager. Yeah.
Of the restaurant?
Yes.
So did they kick them
Well,
out?
that's good though. It's good that you said something because most of the time people say nothing. They just allow it to continue. You know, and you hear about these certain bars in Kampala that serve bazungu and they're known as like either you're white or you're hunting for a white partner.
Yeah. Hunting for a visa.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Yeah, green card.
And people are not treated equally. But why do you think that is? I mean, from your perspective.
Colonialism is still here.
Because we are stupid and colonialism is still
Colonialism is still here.
Still lives. Oh yeah.
How? It's been 55 years.
It never left.
And that's why I'm wearing my Ugandan shirt. I love. Cameraman, you come and see. I love UG.
Under there should be, but I love whites more.
Not, I love you, Gaetano. No, but seriously, you're right. Colonialism, 55 years ago, we celebrated. But colonialism is still here.
It's a mentality issue with the Ugandans. It has never left. They will forever think, sadly, that white equals superior, white equals better, white equals richer. Just white is good.
Well, I hope that it's not forever. But there is this issue of like unseriousness in the local market, right? And then a lot of people use the word local as an insult. They'll say like, that guy, but he's so local.
Yeah.
You know, and why? Why is that? Why can't you just be proud of what you're creating yourself? Why is it that DJs are playing American music or West African music more than they do Ugandan music? Yet we have so much good music here.
Absolutely. Okay, so you complained in your communications. You went online and said, yeah, maybe with an accent. You're so now, Ugandan. But tell me this, have you ever complained in public when it's happening at the time? Have you ever complained?
Yeah. It's a little awkward, I have to admit, and I even admitted at the end of this blog that privilege can mess with your head. It can make you think that you're a VIP and you start, just enjoying, but you have to sometimes check yourself and say, no, this is not right. And the way I've been able to do that is my friends. That, I see them treated badly and I care about them, and then I get pissed off, So I traveled around Uganda with my housemate, Zawango, and there was all of these instances where people would look at me the whole time, madam, what can we do for you? Blah, blah, blah. Can we take your bag? Welcome to the hotel. Meanwhile, my housemate, who's Ugandan and paid the same amount for the trip, we're equals, she was ignored. They'd say, please, Muzunga, let us take your bag. And then she's like, and they don't even see her. It happens all the time.
I can throw that bag to your face.
Yeah, so in those moments I was like, excuse me, can you, sometimes what I started doing to mess with them is every time they asked me, like, what would you like to eat, or can we do this, or whatever, I would look at her and I'd say, Zalwango, what do you think? So then they'd be like, who's the boss in this situation? Just to kind of try to...
Wow. Yeah. It's very interesting. And do you consider yourself to be an immigrant or an expat?
I hate the word expat.
I hate it.
For so many reasons. You have no idea, as a communication strategist, people come to me in Uganda and they say, I'm having an event, can you bring your expat friends? Or guys who are like, hey, we're having a party, you have any white girls you can bring with you? It happens all the time.
That's a valid request.
Can you bring that fresh white meat?
Yeah.
You guys.
That's just a valid request though.
I'm very sorry, but I don't have very many white friends. I'm not really in that circle. So I'm not the right person to ask.
Yeah.
But I think expat, for one, like I have a lot of Ugandan friends in Canada and England, and they're not called expats, they're called immigrants. Why?
This is my argument exactly. When you think about it, Marcus, you black man, you were recently in Scotland, by the way. Remember?
Yeah.
You were not an expat. You were an immigrant.
We were a bunch of guys who had gone to work.
You were all immigrants.
But
But you're not expats.
But claim it. If he wants to be an expat, say, yeah, hello, my name is expat and I'm from Uganda and I'm here in
Do you understand?
just twist it
Twist it
around for
around.
them.
But when a Muzungu comes to Uganda or to Africa, they're not an immigrant.
Yeah.
They're an expat. And I have consciously, me by the way, nowadays when I look at them, I see immigrants. Not in a bad way.
Thank
but
you.
because
No,
when we
it's
go
okay.
to their countries,
same.
Same.
Why not?
You are an immigrant.
Why
In
not?
fact, where's your visa? Do you have one?
Not
too.
like that.
But you see, it's like that.
Yeah,
and
work
so another thing is this word expat sounds very much like expert, right? And you see all of these people coming into Uganda and maybe they've just finished secondary school. They're going for a little travel around the world. They have almost no job experience. And then you see them working for UN, earning like 3 million shillings a month, and they have some Ugandan guy beside them who's teaching them everything, who's meanwhile earning maybe 700,000.
Yeah.
Why? And yet the Ugandan is the expert really, but the expat is the one being treated like an expert.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. I mean, you were in Scotland. How were you treated?
Luckily for us, we were in a group, so it wasn't one-on-one issues. We never dealt one. Never had to deal one-on-one with anything. We were 23 guys, so it was okay. It wasn't. I didn't feel any bad. They said they were nice to the group because the group was part of. We were working for their bosses,
Yeah.
so it was okay. That was not a big deal. But the one-on-one though, when we left the group, when we leave the group and now go, now we're going one-on-one. We're going to the club. Let's just go see what's happening. Funny enough is, I don't know whether it's because the nights we were going there, people were genuinely, they were friendly. We didn't feel any, any animosity, nothing. It was like, you want to drink? The same service you get, da. But in Uganda, and I've always said this, I've traveled far and wide. I get more treated badly in Uganda when I'm next to a Muzungu than when I'm out of Uganda. That is a fact. Every time I go to a restaurant, seated next to Anne here and we've sat together. I even did it once intentionally and said, I went with a Muzungu friend and said, sit on that table, I sit on this table. We've entered together and watch and see what happens. Both of us are on the phone. They served, they got her order, served her,
She ate.
she had started eating. That's when they remembered they did that black big guy in the corner who hadn't received it, who nobody had walked to.
Can we ask?
My friend, I threw the mother of all tantrums. Yeah.
Can we ask our friend here who's in the
Jonah.
What do you think of all of this? What is your experience?
You see, this thing has like three concepts. Like first, inferiority complex. We think the color or the Bazungu are better than us. Then the other is we are target workers. We are looking at any opportunity from them, green card and what have you. Then the other is we are so welcoming. Yeah.
To outsiders.
To the point that we forget our own.
Exactly. So as the service providers, we forget that even the Muzungu might not even spend as much as your fellow countryman.
Yes,
You understand?
Yes.
So
are you telling me, Jonah, you as a barman over here, when a Muzungu enters the bar, you serve him first before you serve us?
boss, I have a protocol. First come, first serve.
Okay, fair enough.
But
But when you see her, you don't see that she has more money, maybe a first serve before. Gaetano looks broke even. Look at him. Like, don't waste your time with such a guy. If Guy and Anne walk in, even you'd have to think
We
about
also
it.
have this mentality that since they're so adventurous, when you find her on streets walking, she's just touring around. Kumbe talina za boda.
What day? What day?
Then you think they have money. So that is the mentality.
I told you the
that we
time
have.
I went to, I can't remember what bar it was. And then it was an afternoon, for those things where you watch an afternoon game. So it's in the afternoon and then I see Bazungu walking in with helmets. This is the first time I had seen this thing. It was amazing. They're walking in with helmets. Like 2, 3, 5. I'm like, there's a bikers convention here. I'm like, outside must look fantastic. There are a number of bikes parked outside. And then I go, boss, border.
guys,
All of them
I have
operating borders.
Okay, I have a car now, but I had a white helmet and I would take photos all the time. I would say it's like my brand, Whitehead. But sometimes walking into boardrooms, even the NBS boardroom, they're looking at me like, who is this unserious person? But I get away with it because because I'm a Mzungu.
And actually, you talk about colonization. You look at our roads. We've just celebrated 55 years of independence. Then when you go to Colonial, and you
Kololo,
see-
Bugolobi,
yes,
I think Naguru.
even
Muyenga.
those sides, even the Winton Road, for example,
Even town, yeah.
Elizabeth Queen Highway,
Queen Elizabeth, Princess Anne Drive.
Princess Anne Drive. What
If
the
you
hell?
if you enter Colonial Nakasero, you'll get really upset.
You guy,
Yorkshire Small Drive. What's that?
do you
You
understand?
guys, did you know that Acacia Avenue is actually called John Babiha Avenue?
That one's good. That one they did well.
But
They finally
who
changed
it.
it.
That, though? I know everyone, okay, maybe not everyone, still calls it Acacia Avenue.
Yeah, it'll take time. It'll take time.
Yeah.
But it's
So
been
we need
it's
to
been a
push
case of
it.
But you
forever.
see, that-
but it's actually changed to John Babi.
That is reinforcing the idea of that colonial mental state of mind. But Nanga sounded very smart.
Yeah,
Just saying.
very
yeah.
intelligent.
But I dare you to say it again. Whatever. No, but you're right. Absolutely. Colonialism has never really left. And that's what's sad. And we laugh about it, and people will sing about this Pan-Africanism, and everybody, the president will go around shouting Pan-Africanism, love your people, love your country, da 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 da, and we laugh about it and move on. The next thing you know, Ugandans, which we are very, very accommodative. Like Jonah said, we welcome everybody, all and sundry.
Yeah.
The South Sudanese will come and walk all over us in their neighborhood. Okay? Eritreans are slowly taking over Kansanga Kabalagala. We are looking.
But then how do we decolonize ourselves, not only from the white man and the white woman, how do we decolonize ourselves from
Mentally.
others? Yeah, from others entering the country and being superior to the local Ugandan man and woman.
Yeah.
How do we do that?
It's a mindset thing. I mean, like he was saying, there's also this inferiority complex that needs to be dealt with. Local, there's already guys like Joe of Kwela who say, you know, I am local, and he takes it as a thing of pride. I think there needs to be more than that.
Yeah.
What else do you think can be done?
I don't know. Brand Uganda? People do this whole thing
We
of
do
brand
that.
Uganda, but it's done very poorly. It's done very badly.
Build
Very
Uganda,
shabbily.
build Uganda.
Yeah, build Uganda for Uganda. I'm a Ugandan, you're a Ugandan. We are Ugandans. Oh, Uganda. Name man. It's done very poorly.
And another thing you realize is in Uganda, to sound like Anne makes you sound superior.
Axas.
An accent.
Axas.
When the guy says, Gaetano, you sound so local even. Look at you.
But Ando, a few words you were throwing there, you sounded Ugandan.
I have
Anne
to
is
admit,
Ugandan.
I'm starting
Anne is
to
Anne is
shift
Ugandan.
over time. But no, you're totally right. I hear it on radio shows sometimes. I recently met a woman who she handled social media for some business, and she sounded like she was from outside countries, right? So I said, have you been abroad? Did you study what? No. So she just, I think, was trying to put something on to like lift herself up. In her mind, sounding British was better than sounding Ugandan.
But Trevor, that helps. I have a telephone voice. When I pick up my phone, and hello, how
Telephone
are you?
accent.
A telephone accent.
Yes.
Yes, how are you? I'll be there in about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much indeed. I'm saying that when I'm speaking to Marcus,
But that's a random number.
What do you are? You're very stupid.
Stupid with an E.
With an E at the end.
Stupid.
Hey, let's take it up. So it works in business forums. You change the way you talk to make yourself understood by.
You know, even in America, some of my African American friends will say that they like to sound white on the phone when they're trying to get jobs or do some kind of whatever. And myself, even my name, Whitehead, I work with a lot of people doing funding proposals, and they'll say, you know, can you please contact these people? Because if they hear Anne, you know, Whitehead from wherever outside countries, they're more likely to give us funding than if they hear
That's so sad,
Kawesi,
though.
whatever, you know?
Can you imagine? Like they're going to make a decision based on whether or not you get funding based on the second name of the person asking for the funding, not the proposal on the table.
Yeah.
So when you come with
That's
the surname
just
like,
this, like Chiwanuka. Go on. They look at the proposal. Oh no, time up. Yeah, you get on. No.
But you see,
Whitehead, let's look at this form.
that's how I
This is
try
a
to use
beautiful.
my white privilege in a positive way. Like
Yeah.
I work with Ugandans and I say, okay, use my privilege, you know, put it to use for your thing.
Yeah, let it work for you.
let it work for you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, give us your best local Ugandan accent.
Guys, I don't want to be taken like, you
No,
know.
no, show us. Because now you're with us. You have to talk so we can understand you in that blackness. Eh?
Aye.
That's the one.
Cheers to you,
That's
man.
the one.
Cheers to you.
That's the one that says, I am done. Aye.
Guys,
Aye. Nkoye.
you guys are too much fun.